a standard range. Um, and when you first sit down with the opponent, I think if you guys have ever watched any heads-up videos that I've made before, you're going to want to get as much information as you possibly can from them as early as you possibly can. So therefore, it doesn't really matter what hand that you have on the button. You want to raise that button, and you want to see how often he's going to be calling the big blind, how often he's going to be 3-betting. And in all reality, if he folds the first like 5 big blinds or so, then you can get it's very easy information from him that he's a tight player. Because one common leak from loose players is that they just play a lot from out of position. And also, being able to play hands early, we allow ourselves to set up a dynamic of an aggressive image, and we can find out, how our opponent's going to be playing post-flop. Is he going to be folding the C-bets a lot? Is he going to be, raising us pre-flop, or is he going to be folding post-flop to C-bets or calling us down? Basically, whatever information that you can get as soon as you possibly can is going to be beneficial to you in the long run. Alright, and that's the reason why I recommend you guys raising every button. It's going to very quickly reveal, their frequencies. Before we can make any adjustments, though, we have to develop a quote-unquote standard range, from which to make those adjustments from. And remember, heads up is a game with constant adjustments, so we're going to develop the standard range, right? But this is just something that you're going to be playing very early in the match, and then as we progress in this series, I'm going to tell you guys how to make the adjustments to play against different player types. So let's go ahead and develop the standard range right now. On the button, we can raise just a whole crap load of hands. I mean, look, as you can see here, 2s or higher, any ace, king, queen, any jack suited, any 10 suited, any 9, 8, really 7 or 6 suited, as well as some 5. Look at all the suited cards that we can play. Pretty much anything suited and connected we can play, and almost anything suited, right? Look at all the offsuit cards we can play. These are just a ton of hands. And I'm not saying that you guys have to play all of these hands, but especially in the first few hands, you really should be playing all of these hands. You actually need a reason to not be playing those hands. So what does it look like on the poker stove? I'm going to go ahead and load this up right here. Minimize this for you guys. And just show you guys what kind of hand range, how many percentages we're looking at right now. Alright. So we go over here, we've got pretty much any pair, any Broadway for sure. Let's go ahead and, we're putting in any ace. These are all clear. And the thing is, this is how you guys can choose, even if you guys don't play full ring, or 6 max. This is how you guys get comfortable blind stealing a lot more too, is forcing yourself to play heads up and just seeing how about all the hands that you guys are willing to play. We're already at almost 50% of hands, and we haven't even gotten through all the queen X's yet. Alright, we're playing all the jack X suiteds. All the way down the jack 6 offsuit. What about 10X suited? All 10X suiteds for sure. 10-9 all the way down to 10-6, I believe. 10-5 and then 9-5 offsuit as well. Alright. So let's go ahead and get some of these down here, and I'll make some adjustments as they need to be. How are we doing here? 9-4 suited, 8-4 suited, 7-3. As you can see, this is just a ton of hands. Even the lonely 3-2 suited. 10-5, 9-5, 8-5, 7-4. So I believe that's it. And in all reality, if you guys don't want to be raising up hands like 5-4 or 7-4 or 9-5 or 10-5, then those would be the hands I would take out. But as you can see here, 77% of the time we should be raising on the button. And this is not really anything that I'm willing to go lower than. If anything, we can even raise more hands on the button, like these suited cards, before we would raise the offsuit cards. But 77% VPIP or preflop raise on the button should be pretty standard for you guys. So, there are very few hands that you shouldn't be raising here. Mostly, some of the offsuit deuces we should be folding, off deuce 3s, most of the off deuce 4s. The reason why I chose these hands like 7-4 offsuit is that you actually have a chance of hitting a straight. Same thing for 9-5 offsuit. You don't with 10-5 offsuit, but you do have high card power there. So let's go on to the next slide. How are we able to raise so many cards? You know, we pretty much are forcing our opponent to play out of position. And anytime our opponent plays out of position in a heads-up match, it's going to be a minus EV play. And same thing for us as well. Right? So just the fact that we have the button is going to show us a profit over majority of these hands played. But that doesn't mean we can play every hand. We will need some playability, and that's why I've gone ahead and you need really 3 criteria to play the hand. 1 of 3 rather. You know, anything suited, anything connected, or anything kind of like a high card. And in heads up, high card is like 9 or higher. So I mean, there's a lot of cards to play that fit in this category. Back to stove, you can see that that's pretty much followed what I've listed here as the hand range. Oops. Well, we know for a fact that's what 77.1. So pretty close to that hand range. I don't think this is the hand range I chose, but I don't feel like typing them all out again. So there we go.